Are you too available? Just always accessible, always responding, always saying yes, always picking up the phone, and somehow you're still feeling drained. If you love God and you care deeply about your family, but feel constantly depleted, then this might just be the real reason. Hey, Mama, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I am Felicia, and this space is for the high achieving Christian moms who want harmony and not hustle. Learning to steward time, energy, and calling with biblical clarity. And today we are stepping into phase two of the small stones journey. Here is what most faithful women never consider, and that is that there is a difference between obedience and accessibility. God assigns, but it's people that request. God assigns, but people request. And when we don't pause to discern the difference between the two, we slowly become available to everything and align with very little. And this is where we begin to experience being drained. Over availability, it doesn't feel dramatic, you guys. It feels responsible. We feel responsible. It looks like answering every message. We got to do it immediately, volunteering before we think, feeling guilty when you delay, and saying yes before. A lot of times we say yes before we think about it, even before we pray about it. We say yes immediately. And because we do it, because sometimes it feels loving, you know, it feels loving, and we really never question it. But here is the truth. The truth is that availability is not the same thing as faithfulness. And when we confuse the two, our energy gets fragmented. And our not only that, but our focus gets divided as well. And our calling can also get diluted. That's the small stone. It's not it's not rushing. It's not the chaos. It's just constant access. It's constant access. It's not the rushing. It's not the chaos in your life. You don't have the chaos in your life, but it's the constant access, the constant availability. Let me ask you something honestly. When when was the last time that you said yes? When was the last time that you said yes without checking to see if it was a sign? When was the last time that you said yes without checking to see if it was a sign to you in this particular season of your life? Because this is how over availability grows. This is how over availability grows, and it grows quietly. It grows quietly. You don't really notice it until you become tired. And then we begin to wonder why faithfulness, I'm faithful, but why is it feeling so heavy? Why is this feeling like such a load? So stay with me because this next shift changes everything. This next shift is going to change everything. There was a season in my life where I believed that being dependable meant being accessible. I felt like being dependable meant being accessible. If someone needed me, I responded. At least I tried to anyway. I responded. If somebody, if something needed, if something needed my attention, I handled it. I tried my best to handle it. But I rarely pause. I rarely pause to ask, is this mine to carry? Is this really mine, Lord, to carry? Is this what you want me to carry? And when you don't ask that question, you guys, your schedule fills up with things and with stones um, that that's not yours to carry. They're not your assignment. They're not assigned to you. And this is where the depletion comes in at. This is where we begin to feel depleted. In the first part of the small stones journey, we identified what wears us down. In the first part of the small stones journey, we have to identify first. We identified what wears us down. Is it the rushing? Is it the overwhelm? Is it the mental overload? Is it the guilt? Is it the overcommitment? Now we're learning how to stop picking them back up and stop allowing ourselves to continue to stumble over these stones and allowing these stones to continue to be obstacles in our lives, because exhaustion isn't always about doing too much. Sometimes it's about what we're talking about today, being accessible too much. So here is the simple shift for this week. One simple shift for this week that we can apply. Before you say yes, before it automatically comes out of our mouths, before we say yes, let's pause and let's ask, is this obedience or is this accessibility? Is this obedience, Lord, or is this accessibility? That question alone will begin to protect our peace. Just that one question alone will begin to protect your peace. So let me leave this with you on today, that you're not wrong for feeling tired. You're not wrong for being tired. But you might be tired because you have been accessible to everything instead of aligned with what God has assigned. And that shift changes everything. That shift can begin to change everything for you. Over accessibility is subtle. It is very subtle. And let me share this with you, that over accessibility, it doesn't scream at you. It just slowly drains you. It will slowly drain you. And that's why we are continuing this conversation. This is phase 2 of the small stones journey. Learning how to protect what God actually gave us. Learning how to protect what God has actually given us. Next week, we're going to talk about the guilt-driven yeses. We're going to talk about the guilt driven yeses and why saying no feels like a spiritual conflict for so many of us as Christian moms. If you haven't walked through the foundation yet of the Small Stones series, then I invite you to go back and start with the 4 Small Stones playlist. Because once you understand the stones that's been wearing you down, then you finally know which ones to stop carrying and which ones to stop stumbling over and allowing them to become obstacles in your life. I have linked the playlist below. So start there, and I will see you on the next one.